Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today is super exciting. We are here surprising our biggest fan with a brand new computer. We're gonna build with them today. And
What are you doing? We've been here for like an hour and it's just Ash and Billy.
it's for the views.
So a couple of weeks ago, Billy hit me up asking me for some computer building advice because he wanted to build himself a rig that could handle 2K gaming, no issues, and some VR. We spent a little time in phone calls and whatnot, planned some things out, and kind of priced out some of the best deals we could find for him. That way he could get a really good system for under, I think, what it was, 2,000 was your budget?
Something like that. Yeah, right around that.
So we went ahead and we went with the Radeon RX 7900 XT as his graphics card, which it's capable of 4K gaming, and it'll also be able to support his VR headset, no problem. I chose to go with ultimate reliability with his system, so we do have the Dark Rock TF2 air cooler instead of a water-cooled build. And then he was also wanting an upgrade path. So I ensured that his power supply could absolutely handle anything that we threw at it, even later on down the road in the future. So instead of an 850 watt power supply, we bumped it up to a 1000. He's going to be running the Ryzen 7700X, which is the new AM5 platform. And AM5 is going to be around for quite some time, unlike the LGA 1700, which they're switching out next year. So with all that being said, this is a Team Red build. So I'm going to be hands off, and I can't touch any of this stuff that's, AMD. My hands just might burn. So Billy's going to be building his own computer here, and I'll be here to help him through it. And I promise I won't sabotage it.
Sounds good. I'm all about it.
Good.
Where do we start?
So we're going to start with your motherboard, and like I said, man, I'm not going to touch any of this stuff.
Fair.
So it's all you.
Sounds good.
All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab grab the screwdriver. We're going to remove the M.2 covers for your SSD.
Ooh, things got some horsepower.
Got speed, but not a whole lot of torque to break the initial. All right, so you go ahead and take that one off. And then you're going to take this bottom bar off as well, because you have two SSD drives. You have your main boot drive and then your game storage drive.
Cool.
So your two SSDs are the green ones right there. So you're going to want to look for the one that says 500 on it, 512. So that's going to be your main boot drive, which is going to go up here in the M2 slot.
All right, how's that actually fit in there?
So, yep, just like that. You're going to put it in.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the top one.
Top one. I'm not actually seeing the slot for it. I gotta touch it. You got it, right?
Well, not the red. This is actually Intel, so we're good.
Oh, it just pops in like that.
All right,
and then
so
push it down.
yeah, push down, and then right where your finger is, you see that little screw that just rotates. So yeah, just rotate that piece. Yeah. It's going to hold it in place. So now you could go ahead and put the other M.2 cover back on there.
Yep.
So you want to peel off that protective film, because that's going to be your thermal pad to make sure your SSD stays cool.
All right. And I believe it went this way.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then you can go ahead and screw that back into place. All right. Cool. So now you're going to do the same thing with your game drive. All right, but you have two spots you can put it in. You can put it either over here or over here. And then later on in the future, if you want to upgrade your storage, you got another open SSD port. Or sorry, SSD M.2 card.
Everything slots down. Look at that. Look at me learning. All right.
All right, so you do have a 2-channel motherboard. So your black channel right here is going to be your A channel, and your grays is going to be your B.
All right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and install the RAM into your B channels, because I want to make sure that the cooler actually has maximum clearance. All right, so all you got to do is you're just going to push on the back side. No, so the tough motherboards, yeah, it only has it on one side.
Gotcha.
And then the RAM only fits one way. Yep, and then just push down. Yep. Now just do the same thing with the other one.
Now I'll feel right there. Cool.
All right, RAM's installed. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and prep it for the CPU and the cooler install. So you're going to take this iFixit screwdriver, not sponsored yet. All right, you're going to remove these 4 screws.
Sounds good. Oh, that's nice. Let me know when you get a sponsorship from these guys. I have imitation tools like this, but that is just smooth.
Now we are going to go ahead and put these bridges in for the cooler. So you're going to take the spacer and one of them, just kind of get it going through, right?
Put it back in the same spot.
Yep, into those screw holes right there.
Sounds good. Building things, doing the stuff.
I would say this is just very expensive Legos, but Legos are also very expensive.
They are. One of my good friends has a Lego addiction. I mean, it keeps her happy, but damn.
All right, so now you're going to do the most important part. It's also, honestly, the most dangerous part.
Okay.
All right, you're going to install your CPU.
Sounds good.
So if you look on the bottom side of your CPU, you have all of those little dots right there. Those have to make contact with all of the pins that are underneath here. Those pins are extremely delicate. So if you drop your CPU in here on accident, or even if you put it in here the wrong way, you could bend and break a pin, and then this motherboard's absolutely useless.
Awesome.
So,
I'm scared.
all right.
Let's do
so first off, you got this little bar right here. You're just gonna push down.
Push down, pull out.
Yep. All right, and then you're gonna raise the lid. Better. All right, so then this just rests back on top, and then you should be able to push that down. As long, yep, it grabs the lip, so you're good, and then tuck it back under.
Should be.
Yep, yeah,
tough.
you're fine. You're fine.
Should it break?
That's just the cover. It pops off. You're good. You're good.
All right.
Okay, there it is. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put some thermal paste on, and then we're gonna install the cooler. Probably about a pea-sized on there. Right in the middle.
Like big P, small P.
That's good. Right there. Yep. And you're gonna take this fancy little thermal paste spatula,
Ooh.
and you're gonna spread it around.
This is the sentimental one.
Oh, it's super sentimental.
Which way do you want your pipes when you're looking at your computer? You want your pipes like this, or you want your pipes like this?
Pipes on the other side.
Pipes like this.
Yeah.
All
way
right.
cooler.
All right, and then hand just barely tight on the first one, go over it and like kind of work it back.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like building IKEA furniture. Like get everything kind of tight, and then once it's all put together, you tighten everything up completely.
Make it way easier if you're not a meatball.
Is it cloudy? So the Be Quiet clips are a lot easier when you have the right clips for the right fan. All right, so the last thing we're going to do is you're going to put this little jumper on there.
Mm-hmm.
They only plug in one way.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. So now your motherboard's done. Honestly, that's the hardest, most nerve-wracking part, because with the CPU, it's easy to damage and break that.
No, I understand. I felt nervous the whole time. Like I said, I build stuff all the time, and I was kind of shaky about it.
We got a couple things that we could do before we put the motherboard in there, which is installing the rest of your fans. We can go ahead and get 2 of your 140 fans to increase the airflow. Make sure your case is all cool and everything. When it comes to the fans, some of the fans have little arrows. If they don't have the arrows on there, just remember faces suck. So it's a magnetized bit too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Definitely recommend iFixit. Not a sponsor. Yet.
I don't know why. By habit, I just want to keep hanging on to it. Like I'm gonna drop it, like it's a 10mm socket, never be found again.
Right. All right. So now for the second most nerve-wracking part, is picking up everything that you just did on here and placing it in here.
And not breaking it.
Whoa. Yeah, don't drop it. Otherwise, we're going back to Micro Center today. Which I'm also not opposed to, so maybe drop it?
Should it like fall into place or? Oh, no, I see what happened.
Oh yeah, I got hung up on IO. Yeah, there you go. Because trust me, there's nothing worse than dropping a screw behind your motherboard, because you have all of your open connections on the backside of that motherboard. So if there's any metal back there,
Mm-hmm.
it could short your board out.
That's what actually happened to my previous gaming PC.
All right, so before we put your power supply in, you can go ahead and tighten up those top fans.
All right.
Because they're good with where they are.
Seriously, like, not even the shameless plug anymore. This thing is nice.
So now we got to put the bracket on your power supply.
All right. Feels like it's just stripping out, so I'm gonna relax on that one.
Yeah, these just are snug. You don't need to like crank them.
Sounds good.
Don't make that on a TikTok.
Yeah, right?
Auto ban.
This is your motherboard power,
All right.
right? And you're going to want to feed it through here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just leave it while we run all the other cables.
All right.
All right. So, and then, like I said, Corsair, they're nice enough to label the plugs. So your CPU power is going to come through this one
All
up
right.
top. So these three
Yep.
are for your graphics card.
Okay.
So your graphics card is going to sit in your first PCIe slot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to sit here. So the easiest way is going to be feeding them through down here.
All right.
Just start pushing it back as soon as it starts feeding it.
All right. There's one. Oh, my strategy of just pushing harder isn't working.
Usually if you spit on it, it slides in a little bit better. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, so you're going to plug your 24 pin in.
All right.
Here, lift that up, but maybe a little bit easier to pull some slack through.
Which side's that? Oh, there we go. Got flipped. Push the thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
All right, so now it's the fun part. Your graphics card.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready. Ready to see things in 4K.
Hold these out of the way. Goes in just like that right here. So I know it's like nerve-wracking because it's like super tight fit, but once it's actually seated, it's good. I checked like 16 times to make sure that this card would fit inside this case. And yep, the board goes in the slot and then it snaps in.
Guys, you wouldn't believe it, but we got it first try.
Yeah, 100% got it first try. Definitely didn't drop a thumb screw at all.
Not even once.
Not even
twice.
Not even 3 times.
All right, so to plug in your power here.
Yep.
All right, so these pins are weird. I don't like them, but it's the industry standard. You got to make sure these 8 stay together when you plug it in.
All right.
And it just goes like this.
Cool.
Okay. And then we have 2 more that we have to do.
All right.
So you have daisy chains over here, but don't use those for power. So if you want, you could zip tie these down so that way they're not just hanging. Then we'll turn it around and do a little bit of cable management, make everything look pretty on the backside.
Sounds good.
That way we get a little bit more slack for it. And we can tuck it under here. And it'll just kind of stay there.
Cool. These I could probably bring across.
Yeah, I mean, you have all these little ribs that you can run the zip ties through.
For her pleasure.
And then Asus also gave you this, which is your anti-sag bracket.
Okay.
I forgot to put that in before they put the front panel on, but it's okay because it's also a itty bitty screwdriver.
Oh, cool. That's pretty sweet.
You want to flip your power and press your power button?
Sure. Power is on. No
Then-
pops.
Boom. Fan spinning. So you got a lot of fresh air coming in here to your CPU, and then it's all going to be venting out of the top and out of the back.
Nice.
You're good to go.
All right.
All right, so since the last shot, we finished the computer and some other things have changed. I'm not sure if y'all can see it or not, but that's not Billy anymore. That's Ash. We just wanted to go ahead and show y'all everything else that we got for the build. All right, so we got the Razer Ornata. I think I'm saying that right. It's not the best high-end keyboard or anything like that, but Billy said he's going to be playing with his controller and gamepad 99.9% of the time. But at least, you know, he can access all the Cornhub websites now.
I only need one hand with the gamepad.
You're not wrong.
We also got him the Logitech C922 camera, so I'm not the ugliest guy on screen anymore. And then to make sure that his audio is good, we got the Rode Pod mic, and that's going to be paired with the Razer XLR mixer. Then we weren't 100% sure if he had a power strip in here or not. This one's by Belkin, and it's actually insured for up to $300,000 worth of damages if anything happens to it, and it's the surge protector's fault.
Only $30 at Micro Center.
Not a sponsor.
Yet.
The Asus TUF VG279 27-inch 2K gaming monitor with, if I remember correctly, it's a 165 hertz refresh rate. That's all the stuff, and now we're going to get everything installed up and running on his computer, and he'll be good to play games sometime soon.